So here are some exercises that you can do to warm up before any kind of drawing. Or if you find yourself with some free time and you don't quite know what you want to draw, you can always keep up your drawing practice with these exercises. It's a great way to hone your skills and, include some kind of drawing practice into your everyday life. So the skills I'm going to show you today are the curve against a curve chains, the curve against a straight chains, and some hatching skills. So drawing the curve against a curve chains, I've got a 6B pencil here, something soft, or even like a charcoal pencil is going to be nice and smooth against your paper and help you glide across your paper a little bit more easily. These curve against a curve chains can really help you to loosen up. It's great warm up before figure drawing because a lot of figure drawing is just curves and within the body, finding the curves and action lines within the body. And it's a great way to loosen up and have less hesitation marks in your curve lines. And you can use this not just for figure drawing, but for any kind of drawing. If you want to have really confident line making, you can warm up, loosen up your arms and your hands by filling a whole page with these curve against a curve chains. You can see that I'm holding my pencil from above, and that kind of makes a difference in the thickness of the line too, using the whole side of the pencil. You can try this holding from a different angle as well. That completely changes the thickness of my line. And you can see how I'm trying not to use my wrist so much. I'm using more of my entire arm to really feel these curves and loosen up. You can kind of see that as I go along, I'm getting a little bit less hesitant with my curve and I'm really feeling that movement. My first mark here, you can see a little bit of that hesitation. There's a little bit more of an angle to that curve, and as I'm going along, I'm feeling more of that movement. And just that movement's going to become a lot more intuitive to you within with more practice. You can do a curve against a straight as well. This again is great for figure drawing because within the body, that contrast of a curve within the body against a straight line is really aesthetically pleasing and happens a lot throughout the body. So it's a great practice to warm up with before figure drawing. So curve against a straight, you can kind of change direction as well, maybe curving this way. And just another great way to kind of remember, have that muscle memory of what does it feel like to make this curve line. Another great thing to practice and great way to kind of zone out as well. So if you ever need to kind of turn off your brain, this is a great kind of meditative practice just to practice your hatching. So hatching is when you're making multiple consistent lines very close together. It's a great way to shade something in with these kind of hatch lines. Depending on the softness and the angle that you're holding your pencil, you can get really thick lines like this, or you can switch to a harder pencil. This is a 3B here, and you can get thinner lines, whether you're holding from above or below. You can see the difference in the thickness of lines from a harder pencil versus a softer pencil. So with hatching, the point is to get really consistent with your spacing of the lines. So the placement of each line, the spacing, the width between each line stays consistent. Okay, and the more practice that you have with this, the more consistent your spacing can be. Okay, and then you can do some cross hatching. So cross hatching, you angle in the opposite direction. And again, the goal is to get really even spacing. So this is a great way to shade something in. So you can change the angle so that you're doing more of a contour curve line as well. You can kind of rotate as well. You can practice rotating and changing widths. And then you can imagine maybe you have like a tree branch. Okay, you can draw something like this and trying to hatch in a way where you're feeling the three-dimensional kind of form of that branch. The key here is trying to maintain consistency and spacing. You can still even cross hatch further with your branch. Maybe the underside is a little bit more in shadow, so you can have kind of a second layer underneath that branch. Okay, and so a curved kind of contour hatching can create more of a three-dimensional rounded form. So this is something you can practice to, level up some of your shading skills. So those were my tips on some drawing exercises that you can try. I hope you enjoyed them, and let me know what you think.